as we become adults, at times we become rigid, or this is the way it is, and we forget that innovation, or we forget that when we were young, or what we thought. And when you take a moment to listen to them, wait a minute, that makes sense. It honestly does. So instead of trying to fix them or change them, if you take a moment and listen, you could actually make everyone happy and have a wonderful environment, a learning environment.
I'm Glenn Herbert, and I'm an editor with Our Kids. We're speaking with insiders from Canada's leading private schools to gain insights into their programs, culture, traditions, and leadership. This includes insights from parents, alumni, and administrators. This is the Our Kids Insider Perspective.
What I like about being the head of school is that I can have my hands in all aspects of the school. And so it brings me a lot of joy to be able to go into a classroom and see how the students are and what they need. One of my favorite things, by all means, is innovating. So I have that openness and to be able to innovate as I see. And I think that that's something that every day I wake up and say, okay, can we make it better? How can we move it up a notch? How is the world changing? And how can we adapt to it? That's definitely one of my favorite things. I think that everyone that is in education, it's definitely the children, because if you're not in it for the children, I'm not sure you should be in it at all. So I like being there for our students. And once again, as head of school, sometimes it's not your position, but having that liberty, they know, and I always let them know, come and see me if you need to talk, if you need anything. And a lot of students write me emails. I also absolutely love when I see it has come through for the student, whether it's any challenges that they have, and to see the look on their face through that success, and having been part, of course, it's quite rewarding for anyone, and just coming in and being with the students every day. And I absolutely love it. I built the school, yes, like almost 20 years ago. What was I excited? I had my first vision was definitely, what do I want for my child? I wanted to know, how was she emotionally? How, if there's anything, they're teenagers, they're growing. I wanted them to eat properly. I wanted them to have access to anything their heart desires. Now, when I say that, I mean that there has to be something for everyone. So whether it's sports, or whether it's arts, or whether it was, to build friendships, I 100% wanted a place that there was no intimidation. Children here literally say there's no bullying in the school, and they literally say, well, it's funny because, well, no, that can't happen because there's no bullying here. So, and we move on. It's fantastic. So it's a very safe, it's a safe environment. That's very close to my heart, and I work on that every single day, because I think that we can build a curriculum that's wonderful. We can build activities that are wonderful, but the number one thing that is important anywhere is to feel safe, and to feel welcomed. Because if you're not feeling safe and you don't feel welcomed, and you're not in that space, you will not do as well as you could do, whether, in any aspect. So I was very excited to build that environment for students. And it is still my everyday goal. Everyday goal is to make sure that everyone is healthy mentally, physically. That's still my goal, because we can do anything after that, right? Every single day I walk in and I plan my day, and that is not what happens at all. Because ahead of school, there's a business aspect to it, which is interesting, but for me, the children, my staff come first. So I may walk in and there's going to be, another situation or something that is happening, a parent that's worried, anything, I choose to do that first. So I will put everything down and I will, manage and make that situation the best for everyone. Now that doesn't happen every day, but there's all kinds of different things that happen, events, but so my job is to ensure that the daily operations go as best as they can. And I never not return that call or that email. It is extremely mapped out that from grade 7 you can experience certain careers, etc. And then it continues into grade 8 and all the way to grade 11, where you actually have like a field placement where you're going to go experience something. And that's at the level that universities usually do. But I don't want them to get to university and not know yet. I want it to be way before. They are students here, know that it's not only about them in our world. It has to be about our community, about the world itself. So we instill certain values in them. For example, we have a dress down day every month, which they love, but they know that a dress down day, for example, will be $5. They know that $2.50 is going to the charity of the choice that the school makes, and it's student council that makes it. It's not me. There's the regular curriculum that they do they go to class, in all their subjects. There's sports every single day. Also, we have intramurals, so there's something for everyone. There's art classes during the day that's always open. At lunchtime, there's all the intramurals. So a lot of people are very sportive. So they can definitely go to sports every single day. And there's all kinds of clubs every day. So there's sewing club and cooking club. We had trouble because of COVID with the cooking club for a while. There's robotics, there's science club, there's games club. Everyone there's different learners, as we all know, right? So I'm very visual. I need to see it. Some people are tactile, some people are just auditory. So we make sure that when the lesson is given, all options are there. So we reach everyone in a different way, but it's the same lesson, but we'll have the visuals. So everything is set up for success, no matter how your learning pattern is. Our staff is fantastic. We've had, I would say, most of our staff since the very, very beginning. And if someone leaves or is not asked to stay, if that ever happens, there's an exit interview. And I'm happy to say that it's been, for the very small turnover that we've had, it's always been, if somebody has actually moved away, or if someone has given birth, or is going on maternity leave and decides not to come back. So it's very little. We've had our team for a long time, which makes a big difference because your school is as strong as your teachers. You have to be a team, and we are a team. So that's why it works well. We were practicing for a variety show yesterday. And whether you're a 10 on 10 or a 6 on 10, when you're singing, our students are applauding you. Everyone is for everyone. There's people aren't left out. So it's a lot. It's a lot. As I said, if you feel, I said it before, if you feel welcome and you feel loved in an environment, and if you can, control that, if you do have anxiety, if you have control over how you're feeling physically and emotionally, you will be successful. So, at the core values, I want them to feel good. And then I want to move it up to giving them the experience of knowing where they want to go once they leave. So it's really from admissions to graduation, to giving them the experience that, okay, this is what it's about out there. And, so, and this, and the social skills to make it everywhere. The relationship between alumni and current students. I had an alumni yesterday come in and buy the variety show tickets for tonight and donate a grand piano to our school. There's a Facebook page where they're all connected. I have an alumni that is working as a resource teacher right now. Our students come to me, for example, as reference letters and fundraisers, and we're in touch with so many. And what's really fun is every time I'm out in the community, if I see one, oh my God, their faces and we're so happy to see each other. We both look like children. So it's a great connection. And they tell me how they're doing and they come and visit the school. And I always tell them, and my message in my yearbook says that you will always be part of the NSA family. Once you're part of it, you're in. So no, it's quite nice. We always have an alumni speak at our grad. We have community connections where guest speakers come. We all contact our alumni because our alumni are in different fields. They've been in, working and they talk to them about how it is after NSA and what NSA gave them and going through CEGEP and then after how it was in university and what they got from NSA. So alumni always speak at our grads. We are actually going to be doing a huge fundraiser. I don't know if it's going to be next year, but it's going to be a fundraiser for our new wing. And all the alumni that have sang in our choir the prior years, we're going to do an alumni choir. So I'm looking forward to that. But and I have many of my students on Facebook. They're having children now, so it's very nice. No matter what, when a child comes in, whether they're sporty or whether they're more into the arts or right away, a lot of international students come here as well. It's more about the math and the science, and no matter what it is, it brings their personalities out. Because okay, I'm into sports, or I'm just robot, I'm just into my science and all that. But all of a sudden, you're part of the choir. All of a sudden, you are joining that club that you didn't think you'd join. All of a sudden you are cooking in the kitchen with them. So that's why now you're saying what type come to our school. Really, all types. And I'm not someone that looks at a type. That's exactly what I'm not looking for. I'm not looking for a specific type. I'm looking for how you are as a human being and how can I help you? And, and what can you bring to the school? Definitely. I'll tell you, I have gone to the extent of the world. And then I will do everything in my power. Now, you have to be pretty stubborn not to make it, because our motto here is that the NSA makes it happen. We get to, sometimes a subject isn't easy for someone. Am I going to just, okay, well, you didn't get a 75 in math this term, so you just can go find another school. And that's not what we're about at all. I'm ready to say I would not have made it. I'm not a math person, so it's the whole, we will hold on to you and we will help you. But as I said, the bullying or the oppositional where you really don't want to, there's one point I have to make sure if you are affecting the rest of the school, I need to take care. It's not only about you, right? It's about everyone involved. We have students from all over the world. We have a hockey program that brings students, especially from Europe. Honestly speaking, we have 27 different cultures, which is fantastic. So it's very multicultural. So we're always learning from each other, as like everyone's learning from each other, but we have a code of conduct like everyone else. And the culture is you need to follow your code of conduct. We don't give up. We're after you. We know where you are and what you're doing. So they know that everybody knows everything. So it's a small school, and that's what makes it special. And the culture of the schools, I will treat you like I treat my daughter, right? My child. I will give you the world, but you have to do A, B, C, D. So, I will be there for you and I'm going to give you all the love possible, but I expect you to study. I expect you to come to me. I expect you to be honest. And that's how we're going to get somewhere. And I will also be your biggest fan. So I will notice, if somebody does something, it's the behavior that is not acceptable, not the person. So, I will do all that. And when you excel every single day, I will notice you as well, because you're not going to just notice, okay, reprimand something that didn't happen or try to make something better. What about 90% of these wonderful students that never got an infraction, always wearing the uniforms, always studying, always trying to help out in the school? What about them, right? It's called the circle of success. So I believe that we are all partners, and if the wheel breaks, it does not work. So it's the student, the administration, the teacher, and the parents. So it's a full circle. So if there's any concerns or we're trying to reach a goal, we all sit down and I will find which one is not working out, because we need to take responsibility. You cannot give your child to a school and that's it. That doesn't work that way. There has to be a liaison. So it is the circle of success. And I think it's very important that that circle, I can pinpoint exactly where the issue is and try to fix it. So the communication is huge part of it. We have our portal. You always know where every single test, every single grade, you know exactly where your child is at any time. Anytime. You have Google Classroom where you have an email that you receive. This is what is for homework today. The communication is 100% live communication. So if a parent will write me an email, there's a good chance I'm going to call them, maybe I want to get to the bottom of it, so that's really, really big for me. The same thing with my teachers. I like to go see them. Like, let's talk about it. Every month in our staff meeting, we'll go through every single child. Is there any red flags? So the communication is huge. If a child is successful, there's going to be an email. My teachers will write to the parents. I just want to say, congratulations. Wow, look how he did. We have to celebrate the good. I feel that sometimes it doesn't matter what environment, whether it's a company, clothing company, it doesn't matter what it is. Somebody will always bring up the negative points, right? Because you're trying to fix things. You need to celebrate the good. So that communication it's number one. It's number one to really get to the bottom of it, for sure. So if there is a conflict between the two students, a teacher has noticed it, you have to write a report. It's called an incident report. You will write a report because it is, once again, you have to gather facts. You can't just say, oh, this happened. It goes to our social counselor, which will then look at the report, meet the students, meet them with the teachers too. Because if we need to call the parents, everybody needs to be there. Remember that circle of success, and everybody needs to be there, because one says this, one says that. We need to know. Or a child could go back home and says, Mom, well, my child said no, I'm there. But when they're in front of the teacher, did this happen? It might be different. So that circle of communication and that honesty and really bringing everybody together is important. If it's a serious matter, we will continue to meet you. So now it's become, it's logged as my social counselor will meet them every couple of days. It depends on the extent of what happened. So it is continued until it's really disintegrated into nothing. Until there's an understanding. And it doesn't mean that everybody has to like everybody in life. I mean, if we look at the statistics, supposedly there's 10% of the population you will never like. So that does exist, but respect, not negotiable. We need to respect each other. I have to say that this doesn't happen often at all. We still obviously have a procedure, but more and more, I mean, they're children that are finding themselves out, and they're testing the waters and all that. So it's almost normal. You wouldn't want zero, no conflict. That means that you're not speaking your mind. You're not standing up for what you believe in. We don't all have the same, exact beliefs. So I think that conflict is a positive thing. Now, conflict resolution, having those skills, is the second one, right? We're debating. We're not arguing, we're debating. And it's okay. It's okay not to agree, for sure. Well, it would be an excited person, full of life, that's for sure. And it would be someone, it would be caring. It's so like caring. And it would definitely not stop till it gets it done. Definitely. So it would have grit. It would just keep on going until it got it done. I can't say it any better than that. I call her. She's a girl for some reason. I mean, no offense to anybody, but I'm her protector. That's how I see it. When I talk to, I need to protect, and obviously she's always here, and I need to protect her. So it's not about it, her entity is fragile because we don't want to, we have to protect her. So, and how do we do that? Like basically we're all her, right? We have to respect her. There's no discrimination against her. We have to care about her. And she is exciting and she wants to do stuff and we make it happen. So we've had a saying forever that NSA makes it happen, because when it's impossible, we still make it happen. Community connections and how we are with the outside world is part of our strat plan, our strategic plan, and it's a whole pillar. So that question is very easy for me to answer because it's continuously growing and evolving. As I said, we donate every month to all kinds of different charities and foundations. We bring the students out into the community so much. Anytime that there's, for example, tonight's variety show is going to be given for the Ukraine women. So we're always in touch with what is happening. We want the children to know current affairs, what's really happening and how to give back. And as I said before, we really want them to experience real life learning. So I had that part of that, definitely. So, we go to McGill University, we go to Jewish rehabilitation. The choir sings for, for different homes. It goes on and on and on. It is absolutely huge. And it's part of who we are. So definitely connected. Oh, I'm sure that many people, it cannot, when somebody calls me or they want to, or there's admissions, our answer is always come and meet us. Don't worry about, it's great that you're hearing wonderful things about the school. Come and meet us, because when you walk in to a place, you will know. The child will know, you will know if it's your place or not. When I shop for my child's education the whole way through, I went to 4 of them. And when I walked into that one, this is it. This is the one that she belongs into. I did the same thing for elementary school. High school, funny enough, I didn't find what I wanted, so I built one. Sounds funny, but that's what ended up happening. And then after CEGEP was the same thing. She was accepted to all CEGEPs. It was wonderful. We went and did them all. I chose one, she chose another one. I let her fly and she did very well. But it's when you walk in and you have to trust your instincts. You have to trust what you're feeling. And we do have instincts, and we know what's right. And another advice I need to give: yes, you need to listen to your children, but you are still the parent. You have to trust. Don't make them miserable, but you have to also trust your instinct of what your child needs. So that's another thing that's very important.
For more information about this school, you can visit their profile at ourkids.net.